Executive Order Number 292, Book 4, Title Education, Culture, and Sport. Chapter 1, General Provision. Sabi nga po dito sa Executive Order Number 292, Section 1, Declaration of Policy. The state shall protect and promote the right of all citizens to quality education at all levels and shall take appropriate steps to make such education accessible to all pursuant to this the state shall. Sinasabi po dito na ang gobyerno daw po ang gumagawa ng mga hakbang para siguraduhin ang lahat po ng ating mga mamayan na Pilipino or sa lugar natin ay makapag-aral or maka-access sila ng edukasyon sa kanilang mga lugar. Halimbawa po nito ang pagbibigay ng mga gobyerno ng scholarship sa isang estudyante na gustong-gusto talagang mag-aral at willing mag-aral. Pati na din po yung pagpapatayo ng mga public schools sa maliliit nating barangay. Establish, maintain, and support a complete, adequate, and integrated system of education relevant to the needs of the people and society. Halimbawa po nito ang pagpapalakas ng gobyerno ng sistema ng edukasyon na tumutugon sa mga pangangailangan ng mga mamayanan o ng ating lugar. Ito po ay nagpapakita ng pagkakaroon ng mga kurso at programa na nag-a-adapt sa mga pangunahing pangangailangan ng mga tao at ng lipunan. Number 2, establish and maintain a system of free public education in the elementary and high school levels without limiting the natural right of parents to rear their children. Elementary education is compulsory for all children of school age. Halimbawa naman po dito yung pagtutulong nga po ng gobyerno sa mga batang gustong mag-aral or sa isang pamilya na may mga anak na nag-aaral at gustong mag-aral. Tulong na po ito ng gobyerno, ganon. Number 3, establish and maintain a system of scholarship grants, student loan programs, subsidies, and other incentives which shall be available to deserving students in both public and private schools, especially to the underprivileged people. Sinasabi po dito na kailangan ma-ensure ng isang country o ng isang bansa na magkaroon ng libreng pag-aaral o public schools from elementary to high school daw po. At ang mga magulang naman po ay kailangan ma-ensure na ang kanilang mga anak ay mag-attend ng pag-aaral. Number 4, encourage non-formal, informal, and indigenous learning system as well as self-learning, independent, and out-of-school study programs, particularly those that respond to community needs. Sinasabi po dito na ang government ay kailangan mag-offer ng scholarship sa mga low-income student na nag-a-attend ng private or university or kailangan nila mag-provide ng student loan programs with low interest rates to help cover tuition fees. Katulad na po ng dagdag pa po dito na yung mga taong underprivileged student nga po na gustong mag-aral, binibigyan po nilang scholarship. Number 5, provide adult citizens, the disabled, and out-of-school youth with training in civics, vocational efficiency, and other skills. Ngayon po sa Pilipinas, meron po nga tayong ALS para sa mga na-late na mga gusto pa rin mag-aral. Sa mga disabled naman po, meron din po tayong schools for them. Meron din pong tinayo ang gobyerno for them. At yung mga out-of-school youth with training in civics, meron din po sila, binibigyan din po sila ng chance ng mga government natin. Section 2, mandate. The department shall be primarily responsible for the formulation, planning, implementation, and coordination of the policies, plans, programs, and projects in the areas of formal and non-formal education at all levels, supervise all educational institutions, both public and private, and provide for the establishment and maintenance of a complete, adequate, integrated system of education relevant to the goals of national development. The Department of Education main responsibility daw po ay mapadevelop ang isang edukasyon ng policies and programs na supervising schools and ensuring a comprehensive education system aligned with national development goals. Halimbawa po ng department might set curriculum standard, oversee schools, and coordinate initiatives to improve education, access, and quality, all aimed at supporting the country's development objects. Section 3, powers and function. To accomplish its mandate and objectives, the department shall have the powers and function of formulating planning, implementing and coordinating the policies, plans, programs, and projects for the following. Sinasabi po dito na the Department of Education and the authority to develop, plan, implement, at mag-coordinate sa policies at programa ng edukasyon, para sa edukasyon. Halimbawa ng department might formulate a policy para ma-improve ang literacy rates at ng mga plano and ma-implement ang pagbabasa or reading program schools nationwide. Number 1, elementary, international education, secondary, physical, and non-formal and vocational or technical education. Number 3, higher education. Number 4, development of culture. Number 5, foreign and locally assisted projects and other activities related to subsection 1, 2, 3, and 4, and perform such other function as may be provided by the law. Section 4, organizational structure. The department, aside from the department proper, should consist of bureau and regional offices. The Department of Education daw po, the Department Education of Structure, which is naka-include sa department proper and bureau office at regional office daw po. Halimbawa po ng department proper, nag-handle siya ng central function, like gumagawa siya ng policy. While bureau offices naman po ay oversee specialized areas, katulad po ng curriculum development. Regional offices naman po nagmamanage ng educational matters at the local level. Executive Order Number 292, Administrative Code of 1987. Ang Executive Order Number 292, kilala rin bilang Administrative Code of 1987. Ito po ay isang batas na nagtatakda ng mga patakaran at proseso para sa pag-organisa at operasyon ng gobyerno ng Pilipinas. Nagbibigay po ito ng mga gabay para sa mga tungkulin ng mga ahensya, proseso ng pagbili, pagtalaga ng opisyal at paghahati ng kapangyarihan sa pagitan ng mga sangay ng pamahalaan. Katulad po nito ay yung naglalarawan ito kung paano dapat pangasiwaan ng mga ahensya ng gobyerno ang mga proseso ng pagbili upang tiyakin ang transparensya at kahusayan. Chapter 2, Department Proper. Section 5, Office of the Secretary. The Office of the Secretary shall be composed of the Secretary and his immediate staff. Sinasabi po dito na ang Office ng Secretary ay nagre-refer sa mga administrative body led ng mga Secretary o organization or ng isang institution. Nagko-consist ito ng mga Secretary and their immediate team who assist in managing the affairs and responsibilities of the office. Halimbawa po nito, government department, the office of the secretary would include the secretary of the department and their support staff who will help and execute departmental functions such as policy, development, communication, and administration. Section 6, Undersecretaries. The Secretary shall be assisted by 5 Undersecretaries, each of whom shall be responsible for the following. Sinasabi po dito na magkakaroon ng 5 Undersecretary and Secretary upang matulungan sila at bawat Undersecretary ay may itinadhana ng mga responsibilidad po. Karaniwang pinangasiwaan ng mga Undersecretary ang iba't ibang departamento o tungkulin sa loob ng organisasyon. Nagbibigay ng suporta at gabay upang tiyakin ang mabilis na operasyon. Halimbawa po nito sa isang ministeryo ng gobyerno, maaaring may mga Undersecretary para sa pagpapaunlad ng pulisya, administrasyon, pananalapi, legal na mga gawain, at international na mga ugnayan. Bawat isa ay nakatuon sa kanilang mga larangan sa ilalim ng pamumuno ng sekretary. Number 1, elementary education, secondary education, physical education, international education programs and centers. Number 2, non-formal education, vocational technical education, and youth organizations. Number 3, higher education, cultural agency, and foreign assisted projects. Number 4, internal administration and management and regional coordination. And number 5, legal and legislative affairs and other attached agencies and centers. Executive Order Number 292, Administrative Code of 1987. The Administrative Code of 1987 nag-outline ng structure at procedures ng Pilipinas government. Halimbawa nito, nag-establish ng guidelines for fair hiring practices ng gobyerno, government o agency.
Chapter 3, Department of Services. Functions of the services. Yung ginagawa or trabaho ng services of the department. Una, we have the planning service shall be responsible for providing the department with economical, efficient, and effective services relating to planning, programming, and project development. Yung planning service should be responsible sa pagbibigay ng serbisyo na pang-ekonomiya. And effective services daw about sa pagpaplano para mapabuti pa nila yung kanilang project. Number 2, the financial and management service shall be responsible for providing the department with staff advice and assistance on budgetary, financial, and management improvement matters. This is about budgetary and financial. Number 3, the administrative services shall be responsible for providing the department with economical, efficient, and effective services relating to legal assistance, informations, records, supplies, equipment, collections, disbursement, security, and custodial work. Serbisyong pang-ekonomiya. Number 4, the Human Resources Development Service shall A. Develop and administer a personnel program which shall include selection and placement, classification and pay career, and employment development, performance rating, employee relations, and welfare services. Sunod, act on all matters concerning attendance, leaves of absences, appointments, promotions, and other personal transactions. And C, conduct training programs in the department. Number 5, the technical service, which includes the office of the head executive assistant and the information and publication service, shall take charge of technical staff activities which cannot be allocated to the 4 other services. Chapter 4, Board of Higher Education. Section 8, this is about organization. The board shall be composed of an undersecretary of the Department of Education, Culture, and Sports designated as chairman and 4 other members to be appointed by the President of the Philippines upon nomination by the Secretary of Education, Culture, and Sports for a term of 4 years. The 4 members shall have distinguished themselves in the field of higher education and development, either in the public or private sector. The Director of the Bureau of Higher Education shall participate in the deliberation of the board but without the right to vote. Ang board daw ay dapat binubuo ng isang undersecretary of the Department of Education and Culture and Sports. These 4 members is dapat silang magpakita ng kakayahan na meron silang mas mataas na edukasyon para sa pag-unlad, pagpubliko man o private sector. And sinasabi din na yung director ng Bureau of Higher Education ay makikipag-participate sa deliberation ng board pero walang karapatang bumoto. And Section 9, this is the functions of Board of Higher Education. First, articulate the policy and support the framework for both public and private post-secondary education. And dapat continuous lang yung policy na meron sila. Second, make policy recommendations regarding the planning and management of the integrated system of higher education and the continuing evaluation thereof. Dapat may patakaran tungkol sa pagpaplano and pamamahala ng integrated system ng higher education. Also, the number 3, recommend to the Secretary of Education, Culture, and Sports steps to improve the governance of the various components of the higher education system at national and regional levels. Number 4, assist the Secretary of Education, Culture, and Sports in making recommendations relative to the generation of resources and their allocation for higher education. And 10, staff assistance. The Bureau of Higher Education shall provide the board with the necessary technical and staff support, provided that the board may create technical panels of experts in the various disciplines as the needed arises.
Chapter 8, Attached Agency. Section 20, Attached Agencies. The following agencies are hereby attached to the department. Number 1, National Museum. A national museum is a museum maintained and funded by a national government. In many countries, it donates a museum run by the central government, while other museums are run by regional or local governments. In other countries, a much greater number of museums are run by central government.
Number 2, National Library. A national library is a library established by a government as a country's permanent repository of information. Unlike public libraries, this rarely allows citizens to borrow books.
Number 3, National Historical Institute. National Historical Institute undertakes research and publication of Philippine historical works and educational activities on historical events and personage restoration, preservation, and conservation of movable and immovable objects of historical value. Number 4, Institute of Philippine Language. The Institute of National Language, established in 1937 by Commonwealth Act number 184, is the first government agency to initiate the development of the Philippine national language. Number 5, Instructional Materials Corporation. Instructional materials are essential tools in learning every subject in the school curriculum. They allow the students to interact with words, symbols, and ideas in ways that develop their abilities in reading, listening, solving, viewing, thinking, speaking, writing, using media and technology. Number 6, Instructional Materials Council. Instructional Materials Council provide the core information students will experience, learn, apply during a course. Number 7, Educational Development Projects Implementing Task Force. An educational development project implementing task force, typically a group or committee responsible for overseeing the execution and implementation of educational development projects. This task force coordinates activities, allocates resources, monitors progress, and ensures that the project goals are met effectively and efficiently. Number 8, Educational Assistance Policy Council. Educational Assistance Policy Council is a body typically comprised of representatives from educational institution, government agency, and relevant stakeholders. Its primary function is to develop and implement policies related to providing assistance and to support students and the educational institution. Number 9, National Youth and Sports Development Board. National Youth and Sport Development Board is to oversee and promote development of youth and sports at the national level. It typically focuses on initiatives such as promoting youth participation in sports, organizing sports events, providing resources for youth development programs, and advocating policies that support youth and sports activities. Number 10, National Social Action Council. National Social Action Council is to address social issues and promote welfare initiatives at the national level. This council typically coordinates efforts across various sectors to develop and implement strategies for poverty alleviation, community development, and social justice. Number 11, National Board of Teachers. The National Board of Teachers is an organization or regulatory body responsible for setting standards, license, and overseeing the certification process for teachers at the national level. Number 12, Boy Scouts of the Philippines. Boy Scouts of the Philippines is a national scouting organization in the Philippines. It aims to instill values of citizenship, leadership, and service in young boys and girls, outdoor activities, community service projects, and character building programs. Similar to scouting organizations in other countries, the Boy Scout of the Philippines focuses on teaching skills such as camping. Number 13, Girl Scout of the Philippines. The Girl Scout of the Philippines is a national organization in the Philippines dedicated to empowering girls and young women through various programs focused on leadership, development, outdoor activities, community service. Number 14, Records Management and Archives Office. Record Management and Archive Office is a department of agency responsible for managing and preserving records and archives of an organization, government, body, or institution. Its primary purpose is to ensure that important documents, records, and historical materials are properly organized, maintained, and accessible for administrative, legal, and historical purposes. Section 21. Supervise and Control Agencies. The department shall exercise supervision and control over the following agencies. Number 1. Health and Nutrition Center. A health and nutrition center is a facility or organization that provides services, resources, and support aimed at promoting health and well-being through proper nutrition and lifestyle choices. Number 2. National Education Testing and Research Center. The National Education Testing and Research Center is a government organization or agency responsible for conducting national-level assessments, research, and evaluation related to education. Section 22. Functions and Duties. The agency attached to as well as those under the supervision and control of the department shall continue to operate the function in accordance with their respective charters or laws creating them except as otherwise provided in its code. Section 22 typically refers to a specific section within a larger document such as a legal code, handbook, or organization manual.
Chapter 9, Miscellaneous Provisions, Section 23, Medium of Instruction. The department shall promulgate rules and regulations on the medium of instruction for all schools in accordance with the policy declared in Section 7, Article 14 of the Constitution. This section refers to the Department of Education Authority to establish rules regarding the language used for instruction in schools, aligning with the language policy outlined in Section 7, Article 14 of the Constitution. An example is, pinapahayag ng section na ito ang kapangyarihan ng kagawaran ng edukasyon na magtakda ng mga patakaran ukol sa wika na gagamitin sa pagtuturo sa mga paaralan, na kasalimuot sa patakaran sa wika na nakasaad sa Section 7, Article 14 ng Constitution. Isang halimbawa nito ay pagtuturo sa mga paaralan sa Pilipinas gamit ang wikang Filipino bilang pangunahing wika ng pagtuturo. Section 24, School Year. Number 1, the school year for public and private schools should consist of not less than 40 weeks for the elementary and secondary levels, and 36 weeks for the college level, or 18 weeks as a semester. Number 2, the opening date should be fixed by the secretary, but it shall not be earlier than the first day of June or later than the last day of July of each year unless prevented by fortuitous event. Sa section pong ito, sinasabi ang haba ng isang taon ng pag-aaral para sa iba't ibang mantas ng edukasyon at binibigyan ng kapangyarihan ang kalihim ng edukasyon na magtakda ng petsa ng pagbubukas ng klase sa loob ng itinakdang panahon maliban kung may mga hindi inaasahang pangyayari. Halimbawa, ang taon ng pag-aaral sa elementary at sekundarya ay dapat hindi bababa sa 40 linggo. Samantalang, 36 na linggo naman para sa antas ng kolehiyo o 10 linggo kada semester. Section 25. School holidays. All schools, whether public or private, shall not hold classes on public holidays, whether regular or special. On holidays, specially proclaimed by the President, the schools in the municipality, city, or province affected by the proclamation shall not hold classes. The Secretary may by reason of public calamity or emergency, order the closure of any school, public or private, as may have been affected thereby for such period as necessity may demand. Sa section pong ito, sinasabi na bawal magkaroon ng klase sa lahat ng paaralan, pribado, man o pampubliko, tuwing may public holiday, maging ito'y regular or special na holiday. Kapag nagdeklara ng holiday ang Pangulo, ang mga paaralan sa apektadong bayan, lungsod o lalawigan ay hindi rin dapat magkaroon ng klase. Bukod dito, may kapangyarihan din ang kalihim ng edukasyon na mag-utos ng pansamantalang pagsasara ng anumang paaralan, pribado man o pampubliko, sakaling may public calamity or emergency kung kinakailangan. Section 26. School session. The regular daily session of all public and private schools shall be held during the hours fixed by the Secretary or his duly authorized representatives. Except in college, no class session shall be held on Saturdays, Sunday, or holidays unless to offset class session suspended by competent authority. Sa section naman po ito, sinasabi na ang mga regular na araw-araw na session ng lahat ng pampubliko at pribadong paaralan ay dapat isagawa sa mga oras na itinakda ng kalihim ng edukasyon o ng kanilang duly authorized representatives. Bukod sa kolehiyo, hindi dapat maganap ang mga klase sa mga Sabado, Linggo o holidays, maliban kung kinakailangan upang mapalitan ang mga suspendidong session na inaprubahan ng kaukalang autoridad. Halimbawa po nito, kung mayroong bagyo at kailangan ipagpaliban ng mga klase ng ilang araw, maaaring magpatuloy ng klase sa isang Sabado upang mapunan ang mga nawalang araw ng pag-aaral. Section 27. School rituals. Number 1. School rituals prepared and prescribed by the Secretary shall be observed in all public and private elementary and secondary school in the Philippines. Number 2, the school ritual should consist of solemn and patriotic mass, singing of the Philippine national anthem, and the recitation of prescribed patriotic pledge. Number 3, the rituals should be held in school premises as often as may be practicable under the direction of the respective school authorities. Sa section naman pong ito, nagtatakda ng mga seremonya sa paaralan na inihanda at itinakda ng kalihim na dapat sundin sa lahat ng pampubliko at pribadong paaralan sa elementary at sekundarya sa Pilipinas. Ang mga seremonyang ito ay kinabibilangan ng marubdob at makabansang pag-awit ng pambansang awit ng Pilipinas at ang pagbasa ng mga itinakdang makabansang pangako. Ang mga seremonyang ito ay dapat isagawa sa loob ng paaralan kung gaano kadalas ito maaaring gawin sa ilalim ng gabay ng mga kinaukulang otoridad ng paaralan. Section 28, Flag Ceremony. Number 1, all educational institutions should observe a simple and dignified flag ceremony including the playing or singing of the Philippine National Anthem. Number 2, the flag ceremony should be conducted under the rules and regulations issued by the Secretary. Number 3, failure or refusal to observe the flag ceremony in accordance with the rules and regulations issued by the Secretary shall, after proper notice and hearing, subject the educational institution concerning its head to public censure as an administrative punishment, which shall be published at least once in a newspaper of general circulation. Number 4, failure to observe for the second time the said flag ceremony shall, after notice and hearing, be a ground for the cancellation of the recognition or the permit of the private educational institution concerned. Sa section naman pong ito, nagtatakda ng mga patakaran para sa seremonya sa bandila sa lahat ng institusyon ng edukasyon. Kailangang isagawa ito ng maayos, kasama ang pagtugtog o pag-awit ng pambansang awit. Ang hindi pagsunod dito ay maaaring magdulot ng pampublikong pagsabog ng kahihiyan at kahit kanselasyon ng pagkilala sa pangalawang paglabag. Section 29, Local School Boards. In every province, city, or municipality, there shall be established a provincial school board, city school board, and municipal school board, respectively, whose composition, powers, function, and duties shall be provided by the law. Ito naman po sinasabi na sa bawat probinsya or lungsod or bayan, dapat magtatag ng isang provincial school board, city school board at municipal school board. Ayon sa pagkakasunod-sunod, ang mga komposisyon, kapangyarihan, tungkulin at gawain ng mga ito ay dapat itinakda ng batas.